What is up, everybody? The Accurate Zach is back, and he is welcoming you to more What Remains of Edith Finch. We're going to enter the basement now. We gotta keep twisting it until the key pops out. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. There it is. There we have it. I am very happy to be getting back into this game. It's just a charming, charming experience. Very strange, very weird, but I'm honestly not uncomfortable. I do feel at home here, which I find very strange. Strange, but I'll take it. Sven's workshop.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
Sure. Give it to me. There's the wood that Grandma paints all of her dead relatives on. Let's stay away from that. I don't want to play with any power tools.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages.
Of what?
I thought maybe she was hiding presents.
I just hope not bodies or... Oh, that's...
Turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
Oh, dear. There's a lot of noise coming from in here. What's it gonna be?
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone.
Walter? Where'd he go?
She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
I knew she was gonna say that, and it still froze my soul in place. Brilliant. Handsome Walter.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything. Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid.
That sound effect.
It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave while I still can. I know it's out there somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly and Calvin. Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me.
This is so cool.
Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left, or a month, or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
Then he gets hit by a train.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
Oh my god. 6 years of basement uncle. Oh my god, Walter. That's so fucking depressing.
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
Yeah, probably. This is so wild. The attention to detail is staggering. The sound design is impeccable. It's the opening, just the simple little opening of that can of peaches, that little pop at the end is so goddamn satisfying to my senses. I'll go down here, even though every fiber of my being says to stay up here and read Walter's books.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter.
Poor Walter.
But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding.
My thoughts exactly.
I don't want to make the same mistakes she made.
That was Walter's latrine down there.
Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe 2,
Who's the second?
I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
Wow.
I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me. But I thought you should know about your family. And the history you're a part of. Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth. And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible. I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it.
Yeah.
What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house? It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils are mine, and 2 had been my fault.
Derpy and Derpy Jr. Okay, let's not linger on.
Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery. I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide.
That's wild.
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night. Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us.
Who's Sanjay Kumar? I didn't learn any information about him.
There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now.
Yeah, you and me both,
Part
Edith.
of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself. But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Oh. That's why she's writing the journal. I'm thinking it was the safest assumption based off of what she said earlier about wanting them, a previously unnamed character, to know their family. It's only assumed
I
that
never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common.
he seemed like a cool guy, right? Yeah.
They were both pretty intense. Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
He was a sniper, huh? Hey, come on. You picked that up.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
What? Am I gonna have to shoot?
Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though. Aw.
This is so sweet.
Nothing quite like being outside.
Hold still while I take a picture of you.
High def, hey!
That's a keeper.
Oop. A little more gas in the tank, I guess. I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Don.
Aw.
You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Don, I'm being serious.
Dad!
Good eyes, Don. Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Dad, I...
Just breathe. Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Don, you don't have to do anything.
Aw.
But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong. Great shot, Don!
Oh, wow. Jeez. Aw.
I'm proud of you, Don. Always remember that, okay?
Oh, he set a timer. Go, buddy, go.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally
so-
normal, Don. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Oh! I was afraid that was going to be the case. Oh, my heart. My heart can't take it.
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
That was beautiful and so depressing. Oh my goodness. That might have been my favorite. Oh my god. Okay. That's gonna be.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
Mm-hmm. Aw, Gregory. It's a very happy baby picture. Oof.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it.
I'm a baby.
I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
Bartend over, Gregory. It's time to... Hold on, sweetie.
Oh no.
Hello?
Oh no.
Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
I this world was like.
Oops. There we go. Bing.
He reminded me so much of Calvin. Lost in his imagination. Whatever it was he saw.
Oop. Oh no! Wow.
Sure made him happy.
There we go. I'm trying to get up there. This is so cool.
I know how silly it sounds. That I worried about a baby being too happy.
Wow.
But I could feel him slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Damn it.
Oh no. I knew this was gonna happen.
About the world he saw.
Oh God. I knew how this one was gonna end.
There's so much I don't understand. About Gregory. About everything. But I know what happened wasn't your fault.
Oh God.
I'm sure he's happy. He'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
One last ribbit. Mm-mm-mm.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet.
A poem for Gus.
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard. My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart.
I missed some of it, darn it.
I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom, were the words that
I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
Oh, hello, words.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger. The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
Oh.
The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder."
Dad's a dummy.
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam.
Me?
But I didn't. Until we found you.
Oh no. I liked Gus.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
The story integration between the little mini games that they have you do is so tasty. Everything feels very deliberate and well done and considered. So many little details that they were entirely intentional. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing when you have a good plan, you execute it.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
Holy Bible.
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
Mm-hmm.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
There's Sanjay. Okay, cool. Fly to India. I bet that was exciting. It's like, I saw the name Sanjay on the gravestone. I know he plays a role, but we haven't heard anything about him. Okay, well, let's head on outside.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Lewis was born a year later. When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back.
Edie lived here alone all those years. That's sad.
The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that.
Because they locked off all the rooms. When somebody else came about, they just built a new room. Because they didn't want to reawaken the
while.
past.
Things were good.
Even though they can't
Almost
get away from
normal.
it.
But it didn't last.
Oh, this game's brilliant. Respect criticism? Yeah, okay, that's not possible. Observation, question, research, hypothesis, experiment, data, conclusion. Even the experts can't forget the scientific method. Oh boy.
The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday,
Oh.
when Edie gave him a castle.
Yeah, my God, Edie has so much money. And of course it's sealed off now because something terrible happened. We gonna ride a little lift up? Oh, I'm gonna pull it. Oh, this is gonna be so cool. Little pulley system. Aww. It's so beautiful. All right, Milton.
Milton Finch Inn. the magic paintbrush.
Oh, huh? Eh. It's a flip book within a flip book.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
Wow. I'm feeling speechless and rather emotional.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors. Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
We will head ever upwards.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
I could also go up, I noticed, so I'll probably end up coming back out here. Oh no, the stairs are busted. Maybe not.
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Aw. I like Lewis's room.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them.
Aw.
He died a lot.
Well, you know, not everyone can be as talented as me. Fireweed Road, love it. Oh. Greater Seattle.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to
Began to what? Began to what?
wander.
Oh.
I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved.
Oh.
Bats
Bats.
and toads.
Oh. Oh
and
my.
things that have not names.
Oh no. Things that have not names. That's uncomfortable.
He knew it was all in his head,
Oh.
but he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more.
Oh. This
I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend.
Aw. Your puppy dog.
On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia.
Uh-huh.
He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger.
Oh.
He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever.
That's good.
Then one
Not
day
for
it
long.
struck him
What
that
struck
all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination.
Mm-hmm.
So he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor. And he won. They
Everyone's
begged
so
him to
happy.
stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him.
Oh dear.
He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis, until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery.
What?
Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on.
She's still yelling at him.
In Lewisburg, he heard rumors of a
Handsome queen.
handsome queen. The queen was on her own quest for
Choose your own adventure.
sinister serpents.
Oh! Ooh! Ooh!
He followed the sound of her
Electric sitar, absolutely.
electric sitar. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound.
I can't
He
see
knew
the
the world
chopper
was
at
all
all.
in his imagination.
Ah. She is thick. I like it.
But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
A god. A world maker. Wow.
For someone who'd never known success in the real world,
Aw.
I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Oh no.
He began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker. He began to despise the man with a royal contempt. I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions. Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on inviting him. His queen waited, holding his crown.
It's not a crown.
There was only one thing left to do. Bend down his head. And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
The family tree seems to be all filled up. I have to believe I'm nearing the end, and oh my god, Lewis's story might be my new favorite. There's such brilliant little vignettes.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed.
Yeah?
but I understand why we left. My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
Hmm.
What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner. But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
Oh no. Oh no, Edith.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
the power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles.
Aw.
When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
Aw. Wearing her little grandma gloves. Get in there. Hey, get in there.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house.
Why not?
Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning, okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way. I got turned around.
Oh. Oh no.
I started seeing things. Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night,
Oh.
a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them.
Oh.
Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it. Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great Grandma Edie again.
No! Bye, Grandma! Bye! I'll miss
The next
you!
morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you. And tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way.
Oh no.
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all.
Aww.
Good luck.
Bravo. I feel like I'm part of the family now. This was extremely unique, very emotional and personal. Went through a wide range of emotions as I opened each vignette of the Finch family. Each story had its own personality and tone. They're all very unique from each other. One thing that they all had in common, of course, was the tragedy. but there's so much beauty in those tragedies contained within this game. It takes a pretty deft hand to make these absolutely terrifying, these horrifying stories into consumable entertainment. I mean, there's nothing but sad here, but it never wanted to quit playing. I wanted to keep going, and it's a beautiful thing. There is a beauty in the sadness of the Finches. The deaths weren't utilized in a way that it was grotesque or played up for views or any shock value. That's not what the deaths was about. This game wasn't about death. It was about remembering those that came before us and keeping their stories in our hearts and minds. Going beyond the story, the set design, the settings were gorgeous. And again, unique is a word that keeps popping up for this game. The house was brilliant. Again, it felt like a twisted Wes Anderson movie. The house had such a character to it, the way they kept just building upon it as opposed to reopening the rooms. They just added more wings to accommodate new Finches. And there's something haunting about that that's a little difficult to put into words. Reminds me of the Winchester Mansion. I'm very satisfied with this game. I'm so happy I chose to play it today. It resonated deep within me, and I appreciate it so much. And the credit scene was very nice. All of the different members of the team, they just had baby pictures next to their names. That was quite cute, quite charming. Everybody involved with this should be extremely proud of themselves. This is something special. I recommend this to anybody and everybody, even if you're not into the narrative games, the games that don't even really feel like games so much as just experiences, stories to be heard. I think there's something here for everybody, and it's an important game. I thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I really appreciate you. This is the part of the video where I might tell you who to like and who to subscribe to, but I'm not in the business of telling people what to do. However, if you found your time with me valuable today, please do throw me a like, subscription, and follow me on Twitter. Please do all of those things as they assist me in beating the game that is YouTube. All that being said, have a good rest of your night, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.